Hello everyone, another little project here on my 1990 735i E32. And so this project kind of started with, I was thinking I had a vacuum leak because I had a hesitation. When I was sitting at a light and I went to accelerate, it would hesitate. And I just automatically assumed that it was a vacuum leak because all the hoses on this old girl are all original. So I'll show you, like all the air intake stuff, all that is all original. And I actually put like a rubber softening oil on this original intake, air intake, and it's come back to life beautifully. There's no cracks in it. I put a very high intensity LED in here in the black, or it was dark in here, and no light came through, and there is no real visible cracks in this. I know I can get one of these for cheap, so if the situation persists, I'll just get a new one. But it's just kind of neat to keep some of this old German original type of equipment. But what I did get replaced are these ones here. This one here, it's rubber, but it's actually, it's turned into like plastic. It's very bizarre. It's extremely hard. This was off the air breather. But anyways, I'm going to change out the parts. It's not that expensive. But one of the things that I found out, I was watching on YouTube, is that this is probably my culprit for for my hesitation, because what they're saying is that there's a diaphragm in here. This is the fuel pressure regulator, and it's original to the car, and the car has 140,000 K on it. So this should have been changed quite a while ago. But when I pull this vacuum line off, I can actually smell gas, and you're not supposed to. So I'm hoping that this was the problem, even though it's not like I wasted a huge amount of money on replacing hoses, because a lot of these little vacuum lines are really hard anyways, and they were bound to cause me grief. Plus, I wanted to take all this off because someone spray painted this thing with gold paint, and they didn't remove anything. They just took a spray can and just went and sprayed it, and there was spray on here. There's still a little bit of overspray on here, a little bit of overspray on here, but I just wanted to clean it up. And that new, the valve cover is just beautiful. Like it looks nice and clean now. Depending on what I'm going to actually do with the car, I might actually take that to a body shop and have them do it in matte black, and then do the intake in matte black too. I've seen that on some of the cars, and it looks really sharp. I took all this paint off by just using a brass wire wheel on my drill, and it cleaned it up actually really nice. So another thing that I found, which was quite interesting, was this ABS wire was actually cut. So I got to clean that up, and I'm still getting a blinking dash light. I should be able to reset it. I need to get a tool or something. I've tried doing a bunch of things, but the resetting of the actual airbag light, it's kind of annoying having that thing blink. But I found this situation maybe that might have something to do with it. I'm going to clean that up. But a big shout out to my BMW hero, classic BMW guy here on YouTube. The guy is so knowledgeable. He's done pretty much everything. He's got the same car as me, but the L version, and he has replaced, I think, every part on that. He's extremely meticulous, very knowledgeable. If you have any questions, you need to reach out to this guy. He's so good, and he was such a great guy. For Christmas, he sent me these. So one thing I didn't realize when I took this mass airflow regulator off, that these little rubber bumpers, or I guess vibration bumpers, they were completely worn, like beyond worn. And contacted BMW dealers. They don't make them anymore. They've been discontinued. The great guys on Beamer Forum suggested some alternatives, but classic BMW guy from Quebec, big heart, he sent me two for free, because I told him the guy on eBay only had one for $10, which I thought was fair, $10 US, and then it was like another $10 to ship it. But this other guy wanted $25 US for one, and then another $25 US to ship it. I would have been into $100 Canadian just for two of these. So once again, classic BMW guy on YouTube, great guy. I appreciate it so much that he sent me 2 of these, because these were obviously completely shot. So I put them back on, and now what this does is this flips around and it goes onto here, and then there's these little clips that clip on to the underside here, to these guys here. There's a little clip that clips on, and that goes back on, and it's pretty straightforward. I also cleaned up my, I'm having a brain fart on the name of this, but I cleaned this up. It was really gummy inside here. You should hear that clicking back and forth, which now you do, and before I didn't. So that might help everything as well. But yeah, we're coming together here, and yeah, it's always fun working on these old girls. I also, too, I pulled the plugs out. Even though the guy before me put really good quality Bosch plugs in, I wanted to see the plugs, and I pulled the plugs out, and they were beautiful. I put 12,000 K on it this summer, and the plugs came out, and they looked like they were still brand new. So that's a really good sign. Even though I knew it wasn't burning oil, because I wasn't losing any oil. But it's nice to see that the plugs were just nice and clean. And I put new wires on it too, NKG wires, thanks to my buddy Blair. Gave me a great deal on them because they were not cheap. So anyways, guys, just having a good night here in the garage. And there's one other thing I wanted to show you. Oh, the bottom of the air box. So it was rattling around, and it was rattling around because this is missing. I need one of these. I need to be able to track down one of these. So just, so there's supposed to be one there, supposed to be one there. I think what happens is over time, people take things off the car, and then parts drop off it, and they just don't care because they don't really think it's going to be around in 32 years. But yeah, anyways, all right, guys.